Hello, welcome to our Easter video.
And today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, which is working with soap dough. I haven't worked with soap dough before, but a couple of weeks ago, back around Mother's Day time, my daughter was wanting to use some soap dough and create some soap dough. So I told her we could have a little go at it. And we did, and we thought since Easter was coming up, we would go with an Easter theme. And she actually drew me this Mother's Day card. And that is basically the idea behind today's soap. We don't generally do cute, sweet soaps. We tend to stay more kind of natural, basic in a way, I suppose. We don't tend to go for animals and additions like that. But today we are because she wanted to and we thought we'd give it a go. Some mother-daughter bonding. So we are going for a soap decorated with some bunnies and carrots that we created out of soap dough. So let's move swiftly on and show you the Easter soap. Another day, another soap, but it's always starting the same way. Cooled lye water into melted combined oils. And then bringing it today to a light trace. And now we're going to add in the essential oils. And today we have got a mix of clementine, distilled lemon and cedarwood atlas. And the reason I've gone with this scent combination today is purely because I had this scent combination for a soap I was making a couple of days ago and I completely forgot to add the essential oils into the batter. So they're already combined and sitting there waiting to be used. And that is the one and only reason that they are going into today's batch. But it goes quite nicely with the Easter theme anyway. Lovely and fresh and citrusy. And once these are combined, I'm going to be splitting off 1/5 of this batter into a separate jug, and we should be colouring that green. That's going to form the grass part of our soap. So this is measured off now. I'm going to pop it across to one side and then we're going to actually work with the batter in the saucepan here to start with. We're going to use some brushed bronze mica powder. This is going to be creating the ground. I want a sort of earthy, muddy feeling. I was in two minds about actually doing a soap with a predominantly brown colour. I'm using about 1/4 teaspoon by the way, because I wasn't sure how appealing it would be. But then I thought the whole idea of this soap is it's meant to be a cross section of the earth, the grass and the little Easter bunnies playing on top. So really it kind of had to be brown because that's what colour the earth is. I'm just going to incorporate this in and I think I'm going to use the stick blender just to make sure it's fully combined. So this is looking a lot better now. It's kind of a nice deep brown colour. To be honest, I used the brushed bronze. I have such trouble saying that. I used the brushed bronze because I don't have any other brown micas whatsoever. So really this isn't the most ideal colour to be using, but it's given me kind of the look I'm going for and I'm happy with that. We're going to pull in the mould now and get this first layer into the mould. And this should fill up about 4/5 of our mould hopefully, because we split off that last fifth to be coloured green for our grass. There we go. Right, now we're going to pop this to one side and we're going to pull back in that other jug. And while that brown layer is firming up, we're going to colour this last fifth here. We are using some chromium green oxide, which I've mixed with some of the liquid oils from the soap. The reason I've mixed it with the liquid oils like this is that chromium oxide powders in general can be a little harder to incorporate than mica powders. So it's good to mix them in with oil first because that helps them to disperse a little bit better. I'm going to tip this in here, and I'm using chromium green oxide. I'd love to say because I've studied all the colours and this is the best one for grass, but again, it's because it's the only green I have available. I thought I had a green mica that I was planning using, but I think I must have used it up without realising. And this is literally my only available green option. But it's going a pretty nice sort of greeny colour. I'm going to get it mixed in a little, and then I'm going to use the stick blender just very quickly, just to make sure that chromium green is fully dispersed. So I've mixed that in as much as I dare. It obviously is thickening as I'm using the stick blender, and I don't want it to get too thick, so I've stopped there, but it seems like it's fairly well mixed in now. I've got no worries about using this on the top of my soap, and I'm pretty happy with the green colour I've got too. I mean, that's a nice Easter grass colour, springtime green. Now we need to pull the mould back in and see if it's firm enough yet for the green layer to go on top. It may not be, we may have to wait a little while. I'm giving it a little shake just to see how much of a wobble there is. If there's too much of a wobble, I want to wait a little bit before putting the green on because I don't want the green to break through the brown. And there is a little bit of a wobble and I could probably get away with it, but just for being on the safe side, I'll leave that a few minutes, then I'll come back and pop the green layer on top. So I've just checked the soap again, there's almost no movement on that now, so I have decided it is time to add on the green. I am going to be pouring it over the spatula. This is going to help break the fall and just minimise any slight risk that's left of the green breaking through the brown layer. So I'm going to start here and just carefully pour it down over the spatula, breaking the fall as I go. Right, the wobble's gone, as you can see, and while I was waiting for that I have also marked out where each bar is going to be cut, because for the top design we are definitely going to need to know where those slices are going to be. So let's try and have some fun with this fork, see if it's going to hold a shape yet. Yeah, I think so. I'm just going to go in like this, all the way up and down. And being honest, I don't generally do sort of what I would describe as the cute, sweet soap designs very often. They're not my personal style, and that's absolutely nothing against people that do them. I see some of them and I think they're fantastic, but it's just not our typical style. But today, well, this weekend, just gone, it's Tuesday now, was Mother's Day, and I was trying to think of something to do with my daughter, because obviously everyone's confined to their houses at the minute. And so between the pair of us, we came up with the idea of making some soap dough, which is what we did. There we go. Does that look grassy? That's kind of nicely textured, I think. I'm happy with that. Kind of looking how I was hoping it might in my mind. Anyway, yeah. So at the weekend, Mother's Day, I was trying to think of something to do with my daughter. She wanted to try soap dough. I'd never tried soap dough. I found a recipe which turned out to work really well. I can't remember who it was, but I will find it and I will put a link in the description, and I'll also put her website here so you can go and have a look. And we created some soap dough. And this was my first time working, don't judge me. I created, with my daughter, these little Easter bunnies. And she created, to go alongside them, the carrots. So it's a little bit of mother-daughter bonding time. I say this is a fun soap. It's nothing we'll ever be selling. It's not our usual soap style for selling, so we'll never be selling it, but it was just a little bit of mother-daughter isolation, Mother's Day bonding. So I'm going to start by pressing the first one into the centre of this bar here. So first bunny in. We've got 8 of these because this bar of soap, Oh, sorry, this loaf of soap will be cut into 8. I say we've got 8. We actually made 10. I made a couple of spares. I also wasn't sure whether to go with black eyes or blue eyes, so I attempted blue eyes on this one. Oh my god, he looks evil. He's like the evil bunny. And kind of looks like a bunny crossed with a wombat, crossed with a pig. Evil bunny. He's not going on the soap. He's evil. So I'm making sure to get each one kind of in the centre of where the soap's going to be cut. And we'll just go along the line. These ones on the sides can be facing in. And then we'll go back to the middle. Right, I'm going to do something I probably shouldn't do here. Don't follow my advice. I'm going to remove my glove. I shouldn't be doing this. This soap dough has hardened. This is no longer caustic. This is fine to touch. I just can't position those carrots with these gloves on. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be doing this. Don't take my advice here. Do not copy what I'm doing. But I want them to be pretty and I want them to work. And to do that, I'm going to have to very carefully get in there and just put them on top. Ta-da! Bunnies and carrots, Easter soap. I'm really pleased with how that's looking. I know I said I don't generally do sort of cutie soap, so this is a first for me, but for a first attempt, I'm really pleased with how that's looking so far, and I think it's really sweet. Let's see. And I shall see you in a couple of days' time for the cutting.
Sarah, comma. Yes?
Here we are, back a few days later with our Easter soap. I've managed to unmould it, that was fun. There was one little casualty, this little guy's ear fell off, but I've managed to stick it back together with some leftover soap dough. The fun part, of course, is going to be the cutting. So let's get straight into that without saying too much more and just hope that nothing else gets destroyed in the process. Oh my god! No! He's dead! Well, this is all very Fatal Attraction. This one had a little bit of an accident. Yeah. It's possible I can fix that with a little bit of soap dough. If not, this will just become the soap that I gift to somebody that I'm not especially keen on for Easter. Either that, or I'll just use it to freak the kids out a little bit, because that's just the fun thing to do. Not that that's especially scary, but hey-ho. The rest of it worked out okay. We have got them all cut up now. Let me take this one here, for example. And there we have got the earth, which is not grey, Wayne. This is brown. It's worked out quite nicely with the grass on top of it. And then if we turn it round, we have got the bunnies and the carrots. So this is our first attempt at doing a soap like this. It's been fun. It's certainly taken a long time. I mean, just making these bunnies themselves took me a good couple of hours. Not that you'd really be able to tell by looking at them. I mean, they are a bit rough and ready, but that's okay. That's their little bunny fur. So that's those soaps. These soaps. This is the Easter soaps. I can smell the orange blend that I put in them. I think that's gone well. And yeah, generally overall pretty happy with this design. It's not one I'm likely to repeat anytime soon. I say it is so different to what we normally do, but I just thought a little bit of Easter fun why the heck not? So that was our one-off soap dough experimentation. And I've got to say, when you compare it to my daughter's original drawing and the actual bars, I think we pretty much nailed it. I'm happy with that. There's not a lot else to say other than our website is here as usual. Our discount code is here. Head on over to the website. You won't be able to buy these because they are not for sale, but you will be able to buy some of our other soaps if you want to. Other than that, I hope everybody has a truly fantastic Easter, staying in of course, but other than that, do an Easter egg hunt round the garden if you're lucky enough to have one. If you don't have a garden, do an Easter egg hunt round the house. Just a bit of fun if you've got Easter eggs. If not, then hide some real eggs if you've got them. And if you haven't got them, then just hide something else. And we will see you next time. Bye!